Hey guys, we're super excited to be here at the LA Fit Expo. It's our third year in a row. And what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be launching a tasty pastry. It's a low-carb Pop-Tart. It's got 3 to 4 grams of net carbs. And we love this show. This is our best place to be in LA.
You want to safeguard your health, maximize your immune system, grow muscle, and lose fat faster? Prova Immune is not herbs and spices. It's not a proprietary blend. It's patented. It's a one-of-a-kind product. It's backed by science from the University of Wisconsin-Madison. Prova is a protein antibody. It's different. It's real science and gets real results. Check us out at prova.com.
Old School Bodybuilding Clothing Company. If you're the hardest training person at your gym, you are old school. If you hate math, but you can count by 45s, you are old school. OSBBC.com for the hardest training athletes.
You're funny.
Like I said, do you like my tail?
Like I said.
Welcome back to Iron Rage. I'm feeling very enraged this week, Lee. I've been going off and ranting and raving, and I actually, evidently, a couple of years ago, I scared someone enough that I actually they were afraid to finish their lunch. Did you see that video?
I heard that. Yes, all over the fucking fiber optic cable. I'm not coming out. I can't even finish my sandwich.
Yeah. He said I traumatized the guy at a computer store because I was knocking on the front door, evidently.
Well, he's probably one of those guys that, when he was growing up, he got a trophy for fucking everything. So,
yeah.
It's just, you've upset him. It's the new age of people, Dave. They get very upset, and wouldn't be surprised next week you'll have a summons in the mail because now he has mental health issues and he can't continue on his job as a fucking fiber. This is how it goes now in America. He's going to have all this traumatized. He's going to sue you.
Yeah.
He's going to want money.
Right.
2 years down the track.
Yeah.
Mass shooting in Cape Coral, Florida.
Yeah.
It all started when this guy banged on the door.
I know where he lives too. You know what the funny thing is? When we moved in here, there was no internet in the whole area here. I mean, I couldn't even make a phone call. It was so terrible. So we had to spend a lot of money on getting CenturyLink, which is the cable company here, to install a fiber line, and they had to run it like a mile long. It was a business connection. It was a really expensive fiber line. And then once they ran it to our property, we needed to then link the business building with the house so that we can get the network going all over. So we spent with this company, we spent like almost $7,000, and we did it because we didn't have a choice, and we decided we were going to put our business in our house, on our property. So I wrote it up the business. I didn't mind, and I wanted to do it right, so I never haggled with the price. And when something went wrong, and I called them, I felt like I was bothering them. You know what I mean? Like they wouldn't call us back. I had to keep calling back and saying what's going on. I've never seen anything. I mean, why should I feel like I'm upsetting someone by asking them to come and do service for me and get paid for it?
Well, they have the attitude of a car salesman, because I always say this, when you go to buy a car, you're walking around the yard. And I mean, as soon as you step foot in that car yard, boom, it's like a magnet. He's on your ass.
Right.
Can I help you, sir? I'm just looking. Oh, this is a beautiful car. It's like, oh, fuck off. Look, if I want you, I'll come get you. But they follow you around.
Yeah.
They're almost like gobbing your knob to sell you a car. They can't be your best friend. Can I get you anything? Would you like a coffee? Would you like this? Would you like that?
Right.
And then you buy that car. Oh, they're your best friend. Wave, bye-bye. Yeah, service, anything. I've done that where I've had the guy pretty much, almost want to take me to bed to buy the car. You buy it off him. When you go back for service, you see the guy, hi, and he goes, they don't even pay attention to you anymore. Yeah. They got the sale now, so they don't give a shit about you anymore. Right. It's like, oh, okay, thank you very much. And sadly, that's how it is. But I think it's everywhere because my mum, she tried to get some work done last year, even on plumbing and then a tiler. She'd leave so many messages. Yeah, we'll come out. They didn't turn up. We'll make an appointment. They didn't show up for the appointment. And then when they did come out, okay, we'll do this. I'll get back with a quote. The quote never came. And she would call like 8 or so different people. and none of them would come back and do anything.
amazing.
It's just ridiculous. This went on for almost a year. So it's just like, as you said, for some reason, a lot of people these days don't want to work. I don't know why.
And the funny thing is, if I was the person who did that to someone else and then I got called out, I would be hiding under a rock. I certainly wouldn't come out and like make up some cockamamie story like that, which gave me even more ammunition to prove to the point that I was at the computer store. The guy was inside this computer store eating his lunch, okay, during business hours, and he wouldn't open the door and give me my computer.
But that only makes sense. If
They
I'm
were
in the
there.
store,
they were in the store, and they were pretending they weren't in the
Exactly.
store. How much validation for poor customer service is that?
well, even if you do want to have lunch, at least put up a sign. You know, it had those.
Be
logical
back in
clock on
20
it.
minutes, right?
Yeah, back in 30 minutes or so.
Yeah.
But even then, I'd feel obligated if I'm in the store and I said, someone come back and get your computer, and you know they're coming back. How hard is it to just put your sandwich down, get the computer, and go,
Of
here you go, it's all
course.
fixed. Thank you.
That's
Thank you
customer
very much."
service, though. That's
You should
customer
try
service.
next time. Well, you should try it with your species, Dave. When orders come in, just take the orders, but don't send the products
Well,
out.
you know
Just
what,
go,
Lee?
"Thank you."
I'll tell you something. I get a lot of clients who contact me and say, I want to hire you. I just fired my coach. And I don't ever ask why. I could care less, to be honest with you. But they always tell me because they're angry. And there's a lot of coaches out there that take money from people and then they never respond. I'm like, what do you mean the guy never responded? He's like, well, he sent me a diet. He said send him an update. I sent him an update and he never responded. I mean, well, I said, for like how long? He goes, it's been 2 weeks. I'm like, he didn't respond? No, I call him. And then what happens is these people, because they paid a lot of money, they start sending a lot of emails. They start calling and texting. And then what these guys do is they're like, stop fucking harassing me. Don't call me anymore. I don't want to work with you anymore.
Exactly. Your attitude is very bad. You're very angry.
Yeah. Well, maybe the people paid money. They want to
to.
fucking get some service from you. How about that? You know.
Or have you got this excuse before when I've had something like that and I emailed a person just to find out what's happening, whether it be something, and I email again. I'm like, what's going on? Email again. Fuck it. I finally want to get a hold of him. Yeah, I've been sending emails. Oh, it must have been going to my spam folder. I don't have anything in my inbox.
Yeah.
I'm like,
or how about Lee? How about this one? I hire Lee Priest to do my diet, but Lee Priest's aunt Becky is the one who's doing the diet, and Becky is getting in touch with the clients. I don't want Becky. I paid for Lee Priest. How come I got Aunt Becky helping me?
Hey,
well, Aunt Becky's my assistant.
Hey, I'm not using Becky. I might have to pay Becky a thing. Lee Priest is going on Google, mass training diet, copy paste, send a Dave. There we go.
Vegan Gains is doing your diet because Lee Priest hired. Vegan Gains needed a job. He couldn't get any more jerk off material.
I know a lot of people are doing that. They just go online. Say you wanted a weight loss diet. They just go Google weight loss diet for men. Well, that one sounds good. Copy, paste, send it.
Well, there's scammers out there, and that's why when you hire a coach, you better do your research and make sure that person knows what they're doing and has, because you could be hiring, like Lee said, someone who's just going to send you a copy and paste, and you're never going to get a single email back from them. It happens all the time. There's plenty of scammers out there scamming all the time. That's how they make their living, scamming.
And almost makes you wonder too, because you know how hard it is. If you're going to train someone, the time and effort sometimes, because you've got to keep in contact with the diet, the training, the updates, the photos. And sometimes people go, I have 100 clients. I'm like, how do you keep track of at least 100 clients with diets and this and that? I said, you must just be doing cookie cutter shit to every one of them, because to do 100 individual diets and then keep track of every person. It'd be a 24-hour job, 7 days a week.
Welcome to my life, Lee. No, the truth is that the longer you do this, the more people you can handle, because you can kind of see things very quickly and make changes because you have a good eye. But if you're just a new coach, you can't handle 100 clients. You'll want to kill yourself, if you do 100 clients, because you just don't have the experience.
I'm holding water today. Yesterday I was 91 kilos. Today I'm 91.5. What's going on? I put on 0.5. I was like, oh, do you like my new flag behind me here?
Is that the Donald Trump Punisher?
Look at that. It's the Punisher with the American flag on the Punisher skull with Trump's hair. If I sit just right, look, I got Trump's hair.
I think what I was going to say, what you should do is I think you should grow your hair out just for the election, so you can do the Trump hairdo.
That looks pretty good, doesn't it? That's going to upset the Biden lovers. Trump.
I bet your hair, I bet your hair would grow out like that too.
Look at this shirt. This is from my friend Mitch.
Yeah.
Adopt a Cop. I donate to Adopt a Cop. Each donation goes to teaching police officers Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu so they can learn other ways. See that?
I love it.
That's just upset people too. He's wearing a Adopt a Cop shirt and a fucking Trump flag.
Yeah. Now, speaking of your hairdos like Donald Trump, someone sent me, and you sent it to me right before the show, but I had already seen it. Someone sent me a video of you when you were 20 years old doing your very first pro show at the Niagara Falls show, and your hair was looking a little Trumpish right there. Look at that.
It had like a nice curl and wave to it, didn't it?
Yeah, I didn't even know you had wavy hair. I saw it from the back. I was shocked.
It's stunning the way it had like a little curl at the front here. Yeah, that was 20 years old. Actually, Milos posted that on Instagram and then sent it to me. I've never even seen that myself.
Really?
And the song I posted, that was that song I think Mohammed Benazizi used it. Johnny Miles music.
Yeah. You look like Chris Aceto there. You guys look like you could be brothers. Facially.
Hey. Wasn't Chris upset about my GoFundMe the other day?
He was upset. Yeah, he thinks that it's a joke, your GoFundMe to compete. I actually defended you. I thought it was a good idea, actually.
Well, look, it's like I've said again. People every day, I was on live yesterday. You making a comeback? Do a comeback. The fans want to see it. The fans want to see it. Okay, if your fans want to see it, put your money where your mouth is. If you want to see it, pay for it. Because contest prep by itself is expensive. And then with stem cell and that on top of it, it's expensive. So if you want it, pay for it. If you don't, well, there's no comeback. It's that simple, people.
It's a good example would be if like people wanted to see Jay. Let's say Jay, doesn't have any interest in competing. But if everyone said, "Hey Jay," now Jay's got a ton of money, so it doesn't matter. But he's a bad example. But if people said, "Hey Jay, we'll pay to see you compete again," and Jay's like started to GoFundMe and he raised $500,000. I'm sure Jay, if he needed the money or wanted the money and really in his back of his mind was thinking about competing, would do it because that would be the inspiration. So if the fans want to fund you, then you'll do it. And you said on this show last week, if you don't get the money raised enough, you'll give it back, you said to people, right?
Exactly. Some's already gone to Adopt a Cop.
Yeah, there you go.
You can see it on my Instagram page. I put it up, Adopt a Cop. They sent back a thing saying, thank you very much to Lee Priest for adopting a cop, donating to the program.
There you go.
Thank you.
All right, so a lot of people have been asking me, what will you and Lee wear for Halloween when you do your Halloween show, which is the end of the month? Because Lee, they know you like to dress up in costumes. They know that I'm into costumes and stuff like that. So what do you think you're going to be Donald Trump this year? What's going to be the costume you're going to put on?
That's a good idea. I can see a box over there. I know I've got a couple of Superman suits and Spider-Man suit in there, and I've got a few different. I think I got a Batman one, with the actual black latex. It's so hot when you put it on.
How about like a Joker? Can you do the Joker? Can you get your face all made up like the Joker? Or something?
That would be good, wouldn't it?
The
Joker one. Yeah, get the proper makeup to put the scars.
Yeah, get your wife to do. You probably do it yourself. You're pretty creative. You can do your own makeup.
I just get a knife a week before.
No, don't do that. Just get some tattoos. Get a permanent Joker face on. There you go.
Hey, that would be good. Hey, don't give me ideas. How about half and half like Harvey Two-Face?
There you go. Harvey Dent, yeah.
Well, I actually thought about that once. Imagine if you did get like a Spider-Man mask tattooed on your face, or even just some sort of mask. Yeah, I could just go easy and just put a Halloween mask on and be Michael Myers.
Timmy's got that helmet on his head, right? The tattooed on his head.
Yeah. It was that guy. That's the guy from Gold's, wasn't it?
No, Tattoo Timmy was. Remember, he was from New York originally, and then he went out.
Yeah, he had it where it just.
Yeah, he had like a mask.
Yeah. But he had it too on his arms, it was almost like gladiator armor. Yeah.
Yeah, the arms look good, but the face, I don't know if I would do the face. That's a little extreme.
That would hurt, because even when I got that bit all in there on my skull, to get your whole head done just black tattoo would be irritating.
Believe me, when I had the microdermal pigmentation, which is like, it's not even as bad as a tattoo. When they got to the sides and they were doing a little, oh my God, it felt like someone was like killing me, Very sensitive.
Actually, I guess, as much as we don't like it, he got a couple of movie roles out of it, I guess, from looking like that. So I guess it's like,
I think he was an orc in Lord of the Rings,
Well, you wouldn't need makeup, would you? It's like, he's ready to go. Just put him on the set. But
the funny thing is, Tattoo Timmy is the nicest guy you'll ever meet. He's like down to earth. He's funny. He's a good guy. Why he did the tattooing like he did, obviously he was going through some kind of stage, in his life at the time. And although your tattoo came off pretty well, I wonder if you think that black tattoo would come off if they used that same laser on him.
Black's one of the easiest to eventually come out, but just getting that area covered, so when I did mine, it would bleed a lot and swell up. But you'd have to go section by section if you maybe started. As I said, the only part you can see is it's almost like you're looking out of a gladiator helmet.
Right.
He's only got that bit there that's white, so everything else you'd have to maybe start just working. Even if you just did the face and then leave the head black, it could just look like he's got a hair and just put a baseball cap on. So it's like
the lasers are really good. I mean, I can't. Yours is like really, really erased really well.
Almost.
I'm
starting to look.
There's a little bit of a red spot there, but I mean, other than that, it looks.
Yeah, well, that little bit that's left, you can see like where it's red and sort of white.
Yeah.
Now a lot of ink's gone. What they do next is they use a different type of laser, which is more for pigmentation, so it starts blending the pigmentation in. But I said, really, I don't mind the ghost outlines of the tattoo there. I don't actually.
Now that stuff around your eyes is never going away, right? They can't get rid of that. Is that right?
No, I can, but to get that, I got to go somewhere else, and then. Like I said, they've got to numb your eye. They've got to put this metal contact inside your eye because the laser will go through the eyelid. So I just figured, just a bit of makeup, a bit of rouge, a bit of blush, a bit of lippy.
But you know what? I think you like the whole process of doing all these things. I think that's more like the whole idea of having to go there and put the disc in your eye and then you get the lasers. You enjoy the whole process, even though it hurts. I think you enjoy it's like the pain pleasure type of thing you got going on.
Exactly. I just love the pain, Dave. I just enjoy it. When the Cardinal come to me and he said, "Do I want lube?" I said, "No, mate. I don't want lube. Just go straight on in. It's okay. Just use the holy water. It's fine." Is there a pro show coming up soon? Is there or what?
Yeah, this weekend is going to be the Alicante, Spain Europa show.
That's the one. That's the one Ramy's doing, isn't he?
Yeah. Do you think Ramy will win the show?
Well, I've seen those pictures, and God, it's hard to tell. It's
pull his Instagram up, Tyler. Ramy's.
Because looking at Ramy now, he looks pretty much similar like he always does.
And we don't know if these pictures are really, now, because he always puts up weird, old pictures. You never know what he's showing you,
Mm-hmm. I think the last pictures before he competed last time, he looked a bit more drawn than he does now. But who else is in the lineup? I'll tell you.
They didn't release yet, but Regan Grimes is in the lineup, and James Hollingshead.
James looks good. So James is in good condition and has some good muscle mass on him. So. But I guess Ramy could be going in because Ramy's like the name and the favourite, even though they say that doesn't play into it. That's whoever's on the best on the day, which sometimes we know doesn't quite work out. But if Ramy wins that, does he qualify for the Olympia then? Or
he's almost there on points anyway. So in top 3 in Spain is going to qualify. They changed the rule, I guess, because it's the only European show. So we'll see top 3 go there. But if Ramy doesn't win, I would have to imagine that's probably if anything but a win is a loss for him. I think here.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you don't win the Spain show, you wouldn't really think about. If you can't win Spain, you're not going to probably come to America and try beat Phil Heath and all those people. So Ramy just needs to focus on his conditioning. That's it. We've said it a million times. Everyone has. He's got enough muscle mass for days. He just needs to come in conditioned. Like when you look at James right now, James is very dry and vascular and hard and stuff. So I saw someone put up a picture of Hunter was it you or somebody else put up Hunter 11 weeks out?
I don't know. Did he look good?
Yeah, but it's 11 weeks out. Why don't we just put up a picture?
All right, here I got the lineup here. It's
a year.
Rafael Brandao. I'll read the guys that I think have a chance of winning. Regan Grimes, James Hollingshead, Lucas Oslidel, Milan Šadik, who's in the Open here. So, I mean, it's not a crazy. I don't even see Ramy's name in the lineup, but here, wait, hold on. There's another page. There's a lot of guys in this lineup. Not a lot of names.
How many do you know?
I know most of them, but I mean, I'm trying to tell you the guys who I think are dangerous. I think Rafa Brandeo is definitely dangerous. I've seen pictures of him. Samson Dauda, he's good.
There's a few guys I've seen pictures of where they're, like I said, the thickness and the muscle mass on a few of the guys I've seen look great, but the conditioning and that still looks like they're 4 weeks out, not 1 week out or 2 weeks out even. So
the funny thing is, Ramy's not even on the list, but we know he's doing the show. But it's kind of ironic that they
or
would
is
release.
he waiting to do the last
backed
minute?
out.
Okay.
If he these guys are they're good guys, but they're in the second tier. They're not in that top 6 Olympia group. So if he can't beat these guys, then I mean, what hope does he have to win the Olympia? I mean, right?
Well, he wouldn't. He's not going to beat Phil at his best. He's not going to beat Brandon Curry at his best, or
Ramy can, but we haven't seen the Ramy, ever. I mean, we've been waiting 10 years, to see the Ramy that we want to see, right, on stage.
And that's what I don't understand with Ramy, because he's got so much muscle mass and he's always trying to play this size game, and it hasn't been working to hit the number one spot there. Why doesn't just 1 year go, you know what? Maybe if I just drop a couple of pounds and come in shredded, maybe walking around I might look smaller. On stage, we know you're going to look bigger. Right. Just try it. You've tried everything else. You've tried coming in big and full and everything else. Just try coming in a bit more shredded and see how it goes. What have you got to lose?
When you have that many coaches over that many years, Lee, don't you think maybe it's not the coach's fault at that point? Maybe it's the competitor's fault, because someone should be able to get you in shape. I can't imagine all these top coaches can't get one guy in shape, right?
Yeah, and plus the coaches, yourself too, looking in a mirror. So maybe it's in his head that I've had friends that have wanted to compete, and maybe he's just got that block in his head where I've had friends, I'm going to compete, Lee. They'd start dieting down. 2 months into the diet, their favorite T-shirt, they're like, oh, look, Lee, my T-shirt's too loose. I can't do this. And they bulk back up. It's like mentally, because their clothes get smaller, looser, they can't handle it.
Right.
It's like this ego thing. Like, I got to be big, but we've seen it all before. Some of the best guys that walk out on stage, when you see them backstage dressed, you're like, he looks nothing. But as soon as the top comes off, you're like, holy shit, look what was under there. Right. So it's like this whole thing about, I got to be big, and I'm weighing 280 something, and I'm weighing stuff like this. I said, look at guys that are in the mid 200s, 230s, or Flex at his best near 218. You'd swear they were 230, 240, but for some reason, this doesn't calculate in their heads anymore. They've got to come in, I'm 287. Who cares? That's how you look on stage. They're not got a scale out there, so who cares what you weigh?
Conditioning wins shows, and that's the bottom line. And it doesn't matter, and it just goes to show you that you could be the big. I mean, Ramy's been on stage at 300 pounds and not one show. So obviously, if you don't come in shape, then the judges are not going to pick you.
When Hardy came in the Olympia, he proved that. Look at his conditioning.
Yeah,
he had conditioning like a lot of guys had in the 90s.
Yeah,
but now, because a lot of guys don't have that, everyone's eyes kept going to Hardy because he just had that condition. So you're going to stand out if you have conditioning like that. You're going to, surpass everybody else. But for some reason, they don't want to do that conditioning, Dave. So who knows? So maybe they should start a GoFundMe page, and I'll train them if they want me to.
I think I'm going to start a GoFundMe also to fix my fiber optic cables in my house. And I have to cut this interview short because I have to go traumatize Tyler because I don't want him to eat any more of the food in the refrigerator. So I'm going to just scare him a little bit. So he's so scared that he just stays in the studio all day and doesn't eat any.
Just bang on the door, and he'll be like, "Oh my God, I can't come to work anymore." Dave's going off. So, but I liked how he sent the email too. When you showed the email, and like you said, the date that he said and the date that you actually moved into the house is 2 years apart.
Yeah, he had this. He was working on my house 2 years before he was even in Florida, right?
Exactly. I was out at that property when it was just a vacant block of land, and let me tell you, it's like how.
The number one rule is you never attack anyone. When you're in the wrong, you never attack anyone who has like a social media following of 245,000 subscribers. It's probably not a good idea.
But even I can understand if you're in the wrong and you were a rude customer where somebody was definitely in the wrong. But if we did put the fiber optic in for him, we did put it on the house.
Yeah.
He said it's not working, and then I saw that video.
Yeah.
I would have sent you an email saying, oh, how can I fix this?
Right. I'm sorry. Exactly.
I wouldn't abuse you saying that. It's like, what the hell? It's like,
And it wasn't like it wasn't like he did the job for free for me. I spent a lot of money with the guy, because I wanted it done right. And he did it, and they did a good job, So just come back, say, hey, you know what, Dave, I'm sorry. I might have, I should never have blown you off. You are a good customer. Let me come back and fix what I got to fix. And that's it. And I would have paid him for it too. I'm not looking to do it for free.
And exactly. And having social media, who do you think Dave's going to recommend? If you're a good guy and you come back and fix it, you're going to recommend him, but you're not going to recommend him now. So
that's why he got insulted, because I said don't do business with these guys. And so obviously he shouldn't even worry about it, because he obviously doesn't need new customers anyway, because he's taking on no new customers. So
maybe you should send that looks like vanilla ice cream flavor sitting on the desk there, is it? Maybe you should send his workers some of that. If he can't, if he's having a hard time eating, maybe he can drink some protein in his lunch break now, because I'm too scared to chew. The guy might come to the door.
You know what? After I did that video, so many people connected with me and basically said that it's Florida. No one wants to work here. They're like, the only people who work are people who were originally from like the north, who moved down south. Those are the people you got to hire, because those people actually have the New York work ethic. They're just living down here in Florida,
I know. When you said that, when I was in New York, like you said, everyone's there hustling.
Yeah.
Not like in a bad way, but everyone there wants to make a dollar. They want to work hard.
It's expensive to live in New York.
And I think too, like in New York, say you call an electrician in New York or a plumber, there's so many. They're going to come out and give you good service, so they keep getting repeat customers.
That's another issue. You know what it is, Lee? So many people are moving to Florida now. There's so much new construction. All these guys, they don't care. They got so much work. If they lose a few people, they don't care. But what they're not thinking about is when all the houses are built, and now they need to still run their business 5 years from now. You want to have good customer referrals. You want to have people saying, hey, that's a good guy. I want to hire him to come fix things in my house, because there's not going to be a new house every single day to build out here anymore. Eventually, they're going to be done. And so
I got some ideas for you and Tyler. Tyler's good on the cameras here and stuff and electronics.
Yeah.
He's your new company for next year. Species cable splicing. There's one.
Someone had a really good comment. They said I should call it, the company should be called Fiber Lines. Or Fiber Lines.
There you go. That's good. How about, and then also start up Palumbo Plumbing. Look, we've got so many. You can take over Florida. You can just do everything.
Right.
It's like
that's right. You're right.
As long as
they're not expecting me to come snake their toilet bowl out, we could do Palumbo's Plumbing. There's no problem.
You have different stuff, but you could do all this. Just find the areas that you've had problems with, and then just start up little companies, and you could have like the whole empire down there.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I don't think it's Florida too. I know New York and those type up east, they have really strong unions. Is Florida like that?
No, there's nothing. There's no unions down here. Everyone is just
whatever. We just come here to retire. It's like okay.
I shouldn't say that, because I have found good people. Like it took me a while, but I've weeded through the horribleness to find a lot of good people. And I have a good plumber. I have a good electrician now. And there are people who, when I call my sprinkler guy, he's there the next day. So there are good people. It's just finding the right people. And that's what it's tough when you move from a place where you've been your whole life to a new place, because then you got to make all new connections. Like I had all the connections I needed in New York because I've been there my whole life. Yeah. So when I moved down here, I didn't know anyone, so I'm slowly but surely getting referrals and finding the right people.
And you got a new connection, and it was shit.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
But it is Florida. You need a Florida keys. Maybe some of these companies that give you shit service. It's like, okay, 1 week we do fiber optic. Next week we've got a couple of kilos of coke we sell off the coast of Florida.
The take-home message is, if you guys are looking to open your own business, go to Florida, because if you're willing to work, you'll make a ton of money.
Exactly, and that's all you said. It's all about customer. Mainly today, especially with the internet, like you said, even if it's not you just watch one person. I've seen people actually here. They had a thing in Australia a couple of months ago where even say, you've got a cafe on this corner, this person's got a cafe down here. This one other cafe was doing up these, you can do those like reviews on the cafe.
Yeah.
And actually got fined for it because they'll get in their workers from this other cafe. They give this other cafe the worst reviews online. It's dirty.
That's not cool. Yeah,
it's dirty. Cool. customer service is bad. They finally traced it back to this other one and find them because, like you said, with the internet these days, it only takes a couple of bad reviews and you're ruined. So
the problem, though, the good thing, though, Lee, is there's a paper trail a mile long. So if you do underhanded stuff, they could trace it and you'll get caught.
Well, that's how this cafe got caught. They actually ended up tracing it because they're like, everyone that comes in here, we never have a problem. Generally, if there is a problem, someone will come up to the counter and just say it might be something minor. You know, my steak is not cooked properly or this isn't. But these reviews were so scathing that you'd think you're eating off the gutter. So like, how can this be happening? And like people weren't going there because they're like, well, look at the reviews. We're not going to eat there. We'll go to this one down the road. So
Crazy. Everyone's always got an angle. That's the deal. But the bottom line is it's all about customer service, you know.
Exactly. And if that doesn't work and you can't make money doing customer service, start a GoFundMe.
That's right. And if no one will donate to you, become a drug dealer. That's all. That's the
and if that doesn't work, go on unemployment. Have a kid. The government pays to have kids still, don't they? Actually, Singapore on the news this morning. Here in Australia, the government was giving out what they called a baby bonus. Yeah. And people getting $5,000 for every child they have. And you know, some of these silly people who are unemployed go, oh, we get $5,000 if we have a baby, not realizing when you have a baby, it's going to cost a lot more than $5,000.
That's a lot more than that,
What they'll do is, as soon as they get the baby, you'd see them. They'll be out there, oh, look, new big screen TV. None of the money, but it's like, okay, the money's gone now. Oh, hold on, we've still got a kid here that needs food, that needs diapers, that needs
18 years of you're going to be paying for that. That's right, exactly.
Now you got Singapore. Singapore in the news today is going to do something similar. They're going to maybe give out $10,000 for people to have a child. I'm like,
just what we need, more kids in the world, right? If you don't want to have a kid, don't have a kid. You know, you have to really want to do this because for the right reasons.
You know, I'm all for people if they want to have kids, but today it just seems like you get the ones that really want to have a child because they're ready for it. But sadly, so many people now have either just got married, they're not financially stable, but yet they're having kid after kid, and you're not financially stable to have a child. Even some of them are too young to be mentally stable. So I'm thinking, why are you having all these children? Then it's sad because a lot of the ones who are on welfare, who can't afford it, who are maybe drug addicts, they've got alcohol problems, they've got 4 or 5 of them. And I'm thinking, how do you do it? And then this blows my theory. I was saying the other day, it's like, you know, when you're coming up, they say, look, steroids, you can't have children. I've got mates here that have been on steroids for 10 years, never come off and abuse them, and have 4 kids. Right. And then I see people that they say alcohol lowers your sperm count and drugs this. Yeah. I see alcoholics and the drug people in the park with 3 or 4 kids. I'm thinking, well, obviously it's not affecting
and then you get the healthiest people in the world. They can't have kids. They got to pay $100,000 for IVF.
Exactly. How many times do you see that? Yeah, you get a family who wants to have a child. They live a healthy lifestyle, can't have it, but you got people shooting up heroin in the park. I'm pregnant again. It's
the old irony of life, right? You know.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah. So what do we learn from this? Adopt a dog. Or adopt a cop.
Maybe that's what you should do, Lee. Instead of a GoFundMe, set up and adopt a Lee Priest. You know, they could adopt you. You know.
What, for a week? Have me come and
there you go.
For a week.
All right, I got to wrap this up. I got more shit to do. Lee, thank you so much for chiming in as always. And guys,
thank you. And I'm glad you weren't angry today and yelling at me, because now I can go and have my.
I didn't want to terrorize you into not being able to eat your breakfast. Yeah, so with daylight savings, you're starting a lot earlier now too.
I know it's coming on 7 now, so yes, it's
really 6.
Yeah, normally 6. Yes, sir. Don't confuse me, Dave. I'm trying to get used to it. Okay?
All right. I got to go terrorize a few people. For Dave Palumbo, Lee Priest, and Tyler Shaw, we'll see you next week.
Bye, Tyler.
Bye, Lee.